Good Monday mornings with Luann and Tim. So happy to see you. Thanks for stopping in. And thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show for us every morning as well. What a weekend. My goodness, it was so nice out.
It was beautiful.
Oh, it was so mild.
We lost a lot of snow.
We did.
It melted a lot.
Yes.
I could see shrubs in my front yard.
Yes, we're going to get 10 centimeters though, so we'll fix you up. Don't worry about it. Jim wanted to have a fire outside and have a happy hour out there.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were going to do that on Sunday, yesterday, but then he got sick with a cold.
Well, you could do it today because it's World Bartender Day.
Oh! You know what?
No.
I wanted to be a broadcaster, a hairdresser, or a bartender.
And you've done all three. She mixes a mean martini. She does her own hair.
I do. Yeah, do my own hair, do my mother's hair.
Yeah. And sometimes she's a broadcaster.
Sometimes.
Once in a while.
Not often, though.
Well,
I try to stay away from that now.
I wanted to be a performer. That didn't work out.
Oh, yes, it did. You're the best performer I know.
It's also, you need to get out more. It's also National Tortilla Chip Day. And I just spit.
Awesome.
Tortilla chips.
With con queso.
Con queso.
Right?
That's the cheese.
That's the cheese one.
Or pico de gallo.
Which is...
Oh, that's like tomato...
like a salsa.
Tomato, it's like a salsa, yeah. But it's got cilantro. Cilantro, tomato, onion, and garlic usually. Pico de gallo, yeah.
Pico de gallo.
Yes.
And it's pico because it's kind of spicy.
Remember how we talked about... last week I was talking about the... What's her name? Am I? Adam and Eve. Remember I was talking about Adam and Eve and dinosaurs and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so in the year 2014, so just 6 years ago, right? They found a crystal that is the oldest known fragment from the Earth's crust. Are you ready? 4.4 billion years old.
What?
Talk about carbon dating.
Holy moly.
4.4 billion.
That's like unbelievable, right?
I know. So did Earth used to be a star and then it burnt out and became, how does this work? What were we? Were we an asteroid or something?
What are we now?
We were a big burning, I don't know, we're a planet.
Yeah, oh, we are? Okay then.
We shouldn't talk science.
No, we shouldn't at all, ever. Hey, some good news. We have a new website. I mean, an email address.
No, we don't. We have a new email address just for the show.
Lou and Tim show at gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from people where you're listening from. We want to hear your suggestions. We want you to tell us what you like about us.
Don't tell us what you don't like. Send it to another email address.
No, but seriously, if you
Lou and Tim show at gmail.com.
Yeah, Lou and Tim show at gmail.com. Isn't that a great idea?
If you want to see us do something or you want to be on the show.
Suggestions and like I said, how long you've been watching and where you're watching from would be great. We just want to get to know you a little bit better. And this from Aaron. Thank you so much for such a great idea.
How about that Zamboni driver?
Zamboni boy.
What the heck's his name? Number 90, I know that.
I don't know what his name is.
Oh, come on.
Oh, goalie David Ayers.
That's him, Ayers. So I didn't know this was true. That every rink has to have an emergency goalie.
I didn't know that either. Makes sense though, right?
So even though they were in Toronto, right? Even though they were in Toronto, this guy is from Canada, but he had to play for the other team because that's what you do. You're just a standby goalie, and they got two goalies got hurt, and so in he goes.
Yeah, he was saying that he was watching in the stands with his wife.
Yeah.
And when the first goalie was injured, he went to the back and partially dressed. And then he found out that the second goalie was injured and his phone started going. And so the first two shots, he let them in.
Second period, he said he really wasn't ready. He was still freaked out. And so, but then after that, he saved what did he save? 6 goals or 4?
6 or 8? Yeah.
Like crazy,
Isn't
right?
Isn't that awesome?
7 goals he saved.
Isn't that terrific? Good for him.
And by the
what a minute, right? 42 years old, too.
By the end of the freaking thing, by the next day, they had his jersey ready. They had a 90 jersey ready to go for sale.
Yeah, good
Wild,
for him.
That guy.
He was just overwhelmed. What a great opportunity for him.
Man, I have a cute story. Meanwhile, down in Mississippi, there was a basketball game, Ole Miss basketball game. And
Old Miss?
Ole Miss. That's like the, Old Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine it's a university.
I thought you meant old lady.
Well, strangely enough, I don't want to call her an old lady. 86 years old, so she's an elderly woman.
Good.
She wasn't playing basketball. She was in the stands watching. She's an Ole Miss fan.
Okay.
And they do those things where you get to putt for a car.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the monitor, Lou. It's a 94-foot putt. She didn't take a practice swing. She just putted the ball.
Just on a regular floor.
Are you ready? Watch. Look at there. It goes on. Are you kidding me?
That's so far away.
She's 86 years old, a 94-foot putt, and she won the Nissan.
No way. Look at the shark molesting her.
Isn't that great?
So cute.
Congratulations,
Right
Marianne Wakefield.
Way to get it done, Marianne.
Yeah.
Good. Remember last week you were talking about Katy Perry collapsing during the show?
I think it was fake.
Because you know what? Lots of people did.
We watched it.
But it wasn't.
Come on.
No, she thanked first responders and actually had 3 firefighters sing a number.
Well, I watched
and then the judges all got together and sang
Okay, but I
with
watched
them.
it. I watched it. And Keith and I paused it. So she's like, I'm not feeling well. And then she went down. You saw that.
Yes.
They didn't show anything else around it.
No.
Then they show her lying on the ground with the little thingy on her finger. We paused it. She's like this. She was totally smiling. I think it was a fake. I think she was acting and it became a joke, and that's when she was like, oh, they saved my life, they saved my...
Really?
I think she was like, I want a firefighter, come and get me.
Stop
That's
it.
what I think it was like.
No.
And I don't know.
Not Katy Perry. She would never do something like that.
I think, and then yes, the 3 guys sang along with Lionel Richie. That was cute. And then and then the sergeant and the captain came in, and they also posed.
Right on. So cute.
I watched it last night. What?
I forget what I was going to say.
Sorry, I probably did that to you.
Again.
American Idol, I fast forwarded so much of it last night because it was all backstory. It's like, just shut up and sing.
But that's what makes the show, because it's so emotional, and so personal.
Okay, they did get me on the one, the country and western. Country and
western.
Still
How
say that.
old are you?
Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Airways Motor Hotel, country and western.
Country
music. So there's a guy and his wife from Nashville, and she had terrible pains for pregnancy, and she got addicted to drugs.
Oh no.
And at Christmas Eve, she came home and she was like wasted. Came walking in their house, and she said the kids were asleep, and that's when he said, "Get cleaned up or get out." And she got cleaned up, and now they sang together. He didn't make it through, but she did, and that one I cried for. I must admit, they got me on that one.
Well, so what makes you stop and look at one as opposed to speeding through the other?
I don't know what it was that caught. Maybe it wasn't because, I don't know. All I know is, hey, did you hear about Katy?
I remember what I was going to say.
Tell me.
Katy Perry, that whole thing. Entertainment Tonight covered the thing, and they also said she's kind of known for passing out.
Oh.
And they showed 2 or 3 clips of her passing out, pretending to pass out at different concerts.
Pretending to pass out. So she has a history of pretending to pass out. And there she was lying and smiling while the firefighters pretended to help her.
Maybe she woke up and saw the firefighter.
Maybe she never fainted, Luann.
All right, then. All right.
Coronavirus in Italy.
Yeah.
So they've canceled the Venice Carnival?
Yeah, sad. We have a brand new one, a potential one here in Ontario.
Well, did you hear what happened?
3 people were just cleared here in Ontario, and then a woman came back from China, and they're sending her results to the Winnipeg Microbiology Lab to make sure she's on
Air Canada flight, Montreal to Vancouver, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
1 person diagnosed.
Yeah.
This is how it starts.
But the health minister is saying, you know what? He still says the risk is very low. She's at home, self-isolating. So,
But what they were on? Somebody was on a plane.
Yeah, well,
Montreal to Vancouver. That's a long time.
Yeah, they're
to be on a plane breathing.
They're contacting everybody.
Sneezing. Giorgio Armani. He had a runway show in Milan with no audience. He live streamed it because of the coronavirus. Just the models.
Really?
Live streamed it, no audience.
I wonder how the models dealt with that.
They probably wore masks. Giorgio Armani masks. You can get your very own. can get your very own designer mask for the coronavirus.
But you know what? Like,
How many
I'm
people-
sure the models must feed a little bit off of the fact
How
that
many
there's a
people have
live.
died now? Is it over 900, Louis?
Yeah, it's getting to be very scary.
36,000 or something like that in China.
And they're still working on an antidote, and it's taking.
Is every country in the world involved in trying to find us, like, or how many
believe so.
countries
There's
are
a
working
lot.
on this thing? Jeez,
Yeah.
Josie.
Who's on the show today?
That's a good question.
I always ask good questions.
Yeah, Mark Baudette and Sandra Forcell. Okay, so I think is Sandra directing and Mark's in it? Harvey.
I love that.
The film that starred Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
About the invisible rabbit.
Oh, so
It's
sweet.
a very heartwarming story.
Oh, such a sweet
So
story.
that's with Algoma Repertory Theatre. It's opening very soon. We're going to talk about that. And then we have a new show coming on ONNtv. It's the Chris Oldcorn Show. I interview Chris for the second half of the show. Plus, Luann has the news. We'll see you right after this.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Angelo, it's me, Vito. Imbecile, your brother. Listen, you bring 10 gallons of flat eggshell or white paint.
This past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
This is ONNtv.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lou Annington. Sandra Forcell and Mark Baudette. Algoma Repertory Theatre. Harvey.
Yep.
Opens when, you guys?
March 4th to the 7th.
What's today?
Today is
February the 20-something.
Yeah, it's next Wednesday.
February the 24th. So you open a week from Wednesday.
Yes.
Where?
At Grand Gardens North.
North.
Yes.
You moved from the downtown location, because you know why? Because the shows are doing so well and audiences are loving it, they needed a bigger space. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, so why Harvey? Who chose it? Why?
I chose it. I mean, it's a timeless classic. It's very funny, but I think the subject matter is very fitting. It's it's about a guy who's a bit of an oddball.
Who plays him?
I do.
That's
Surprise, surprise.
Typecasting. Okay.
I mean, he's a bit of an oddball, very happy-go-lucky.
Would some people call him a simpleton?
No, not at all. No, he's very bright. He's just,
Sandra's like, no.
you know what? He does not have a mean bone in his body, and he's the type of person who'll go up to anybody on the street who he doesn't know and just strike up a conversation.
He's a man who he's full of genuine spirit of connecting with people. He changes the lives of every single person that he meets in this play.
I like this story.
Absolutely. He's a generous.
What's he do for a
soul.
living?
Well, he doesn't work anymore.
Why not?
Because he's well-to-do.
He's wealthy?
He's wealthy.
No wonder he's freaking happy
That's right.
and go-lucky and
That's right.
carefree.
That's right.
Where does the invisible rabbit come into the story?
So,
Is that a fair question?
It is a fair question.
Since
Absolutely.
Harvey is the rabbit, isn't it?
Harvey is the rabbit, yes.
Harvey's the rabbit.
Yeah.
So Elwood has a best friend who is a puka, which is a spirit.
That's a thing?
Appears. It's a Celtic myth, a spirit that appears in animal form. So Elwood and Harvey go to bars and they meet people and.
But nobody else sees the rabbit?
No, actually, a couple other people do throughout the show, and don't admit to it because they think that they'll be viewed as crazy.
Yes. So,
so a lot of people think that Elwood's like not
exactly
right there,
and
it's not true.
One of the reasons why I felt it was really a good time to do this piece is in our day and age when people seem a little bit different from society, we tend to doctors tend to give them narcotics to make them normal.
Or whatever normal is, right?
Yes.
To fit into whatever those molds are of what society thinks they should be.
Exactly, like define normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas you have this man, Elwood P. Dowd, who is the most lovely, generous human being who is filled with manners, and yet people want to change him because they're embarrassed by it. Right?
Because he's not normal by their standards.
That's right. And one of the greatest things that Elwood says in this entire piece is that his mother always told him, Elwood, in this world you have to be either oh so smart or oh so pleasant. And he says, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. And that, for me, says everything about Elwood's character.
Okay, the last time I think I saw you on stage, it was It's a Wonderful Life, which also was a Jimmy Stewart film. Do you have a real affinity for Jimmy Stewart stuff?
Not really. It just when we were picking out our initial 4 or 5 shows, these were 2 shows that hadn't been done in Sault Ste. Marie. I know Harvey was done, I believe, in Sault, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
About 15 years ago, but it's never been to Sault, Ontario.
Mark, are you guys familiar with the year that because it was a black and white film starring Jimmy Stewart? So
1944.
Yeah.
Really, hey?
Yeah, 1944, written by Mary Chase, and which is really a fascinating idea because
that's interesting, even to have a female screenwriter.
Absolutely.
For 1944.
It was a play
first.
Play first.
Yes. Yeah.
She won the Pulitzer Prize.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a fascinating piece for a woman to be writing in 1944 because it not only does it speak to mental health, but it also speaks on many levels about feminism and how she sees the world and how men and women treat each other in this world. So it's a very fascinating piece.
What are the characters we get to meet in this show?
We have
two doctors, Dr. Sanderson and Dr. Chumley, who run the sanitarium that Elwood is brought to.
So they actually try to institutionalize Elwood.
Yes. So Elwood's sister, Vita Louise, is a very socially inclined human being and really wants to get herself into the society, as well as her daughter, Myrtle May.
I love these names.
Oh, I know. It's fantastic, right? So she's trying to get her daughter, Myrtle May, into society, meet a nice young man who can therefore take care of her. But what stands in the way is, unfortunately, Elwood's best friend, Harvey, that he loves to introduce to everyone, puts a little bit of a damper on her plans. So because of this, she decides, well, that is it. That is enough. We are taking care of this, and we got to get rid of him.
Wow! So it's kind of a charming comedy, but it's got an edge to it. And Mark, like I said the last time I saw you, I actually needed some tissues because by the end of It's a Wonderful Life, I mean, I always cried at It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
But it's one thing to sit in your living room and go, oh, Zuzu's pedals. But then to sit in an audience at a theater and the character is saying, I want to live, I want to live. And there's me in the audience going, me too, I want to live too. I was a mess. That was a beautiful performance, and I'm looking forward to this one again.
Yeah.
Who else can we look forward to seeing in the show as far as local actors go? You want to name some names? I know you can't name them all because it's a larger cast.
We have Nuala Kenny, Penny Gribbon, James McLaughlin, Peary Kaufman, Ryan Byrne, Brianna Nero, Sonia Ostrowski.
Oh, you got them from everywhere. I got goosebumps.
Yes.
That's from like every theater company in existence. You brought them all together.
People who have done only one show before. We have Ryan Byrne, who's back on stage after 10 years.
Footloose was the last time I think we saw Ryan. No, he might have done other things since then, but yeah.
I mean, it's
Caitlin Byrne.
Caitlin Bernesi, who's choreographing the Addams Family.
Yeah.
And her brother Andrew was in A Wonderful Life. He made a real impact on me.
He was great too.
He played a younger you.
Yeah, Tim Bass as well as has a cameo from Death of the Maiden.
Taxi driver or something. I just saw him and his wife recently. Yeah. Oh, you guys, where can we get tickets?
Oh, you can get them online at artnssm.com. You can also get them off of our Facebook event page, as well as you can give us a call at 705-943-9519.
Okay, 943-9519. Algoma Repertory Theater's Facebook events page.
Yes.
And the other one was what? Is that an email address?
Well, our website.
Website.
Yes.
Oh, the website.
The website of artnssm.com.
ART@SSM. In. That's the website?
Art in SSM.
Art in. How do you do a website that's an in?
You apply.
ARTINSSM.com. ArtInSSM.com. That's very clever. I should know this because I'm kind of on the board or something, aren't I? I should know the website. Okay, so dinner and show.
Yes. So dinner and show, tickets are available Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tickets are $65. You can do a show only as well, which will be at 8 p.m. and those are $35.
Limited seating for show only.
For sure.
We encourage people to come and it's a great meal. Grand Gardens always does a great spread and
multi-course.
Yeah, and make an evening of it. At cocktails at 6, dinner at 6:30, show at 8.
And you're right now. You're the only dinner theater in town, aren't you?
We are, yeah.
And there was definitely a void. I mean, have you seen people coming now? Has it caught on that you're getting people who used to go to the Pull Chain shows and who used to go to the Family Life Theater shows?
Yeah, we have 3 or 4 different groups that table 2 on Thursday night. It's theirs
every show,
and they don't. We don't even have to send them tickets. They just show up at the door and say, "Yeah, we're table 2." And
wow,
we've picked up some regulars, and that's how you grow business, right? Regulars. So
once again, it's Harvey. It opens Wednesday, March the 4th. Tickets available. artinsaultstemarie.com.
ARTINSSM.com.
Thank you. Facebook events page for Algoma Repertory Theater.
Yep.
And phone number once more?
705-943-9519.
All right, I will be there with bells on.
Awesome.
And I'm going to bring my Puka.
Sure.
Yeah, his name is Keith.
Yes, he works in yes. Yeah. He fades in and out.
Yeah, sometimes on this show he's basically the invisible man because I talk about him all the time, but no one's ever really met him.
He's your pokeroo.
He's my pokeroo.
Yeah.
Remember pokeroo Dennis Simpson? Oh, well, listen, guys. Thanks for being here so much. Congratulations. Best of luck with the show.
Awesome.
Wait, you're the director.
Yes.
I should make that clear. I don't know if I actually said that you are the director. How is it like working with him, directing him?
Well, it's great. It's really great. He does his work and he's fantastic.
And the marriage survives.
It does.
All right. God bless. We'll be back with Luann right after this.
This is On TV.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. 1 driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. If you smoked weed, wait at least 4 hours before getting behind the wheel, or don't drive at all if you're new to it, have eaten it, or if you've mixed it with alcohol.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Imagine knowing about incidents, closures, and road work all before starting your trip. Ontario 511 lets you know before you go. You can get real-time information directly from the Ministry of Transportation. Because the more you know, the easier it is for you to go. And spend the time doing the things that matter most.
I would like to have been cast in the show Friends.
Oh, right.
Because they're about to make a whole wackadoo.
Again.
So here's the scoop. HBO Max. They originally they secured the rights to the Friends franchise. $425 million they paid to buy that. It was on Netflix originally. They bought it. HBO Max now owns it. Okay. But they pulled it off the air in January because they had something up their sleeve. Here's the something. The original cast of Friends is going to be reunited. Woo-hoo. For a 1-hour special.
It's about time.
Except here's the really weird part. It's an unscripted 1-hour special. In other words, this is not an hour-long episode of Friends.
No.
This is going to be those 6 people getting together and just sitting down on camera and probably talking, maybe doing highlights, talking about favorite episodes. You know what I mean, Lou?
So
this is basically
it's
a launch.
Not a show.
This is basically a launch for the entire collection because they haven't aired all the Friends since HBO Max bought it.
Right.
Now they actually own the entire collection of all the Friends episodes. So this is basically a launch on HBO Max of Friends. Wow. And they're paying those 6 people somewhere between $2.5 million and $3 million each to go on air for 1 hour.
Nice.
Man.
I'd retire, I think. Right?
Well, but you know, they can't. You know why? Because they all have houses that are $85 million.
Right. There's that, for sure.
$2.5 to $3 million.
Are you going to watch it?
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
I'm watching it.
You are,
I'm
Erin?
so watching it. Absolutely. It's Friends.
Love Friends.
My mother
loves Friends.
My mother loves Friends. I love Friends. My kids love Friends. Like, this is a show that's iconic in my mind.
I don't know. Because you doesn't have any friends. That's why you want to watch them. That's what Erin says. Erin's funny. You want to be on the
I
show
always
where
wanted to have Rachel as my friend.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh no, I liked Phoebe best.
Did you?
Yeah, because she was so funny and such a. She was. I think
she was goofy.
She was the kindest one of all.
Yeah, she's very
was,
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was your favorite guy? Which one of the guys is your favorite?
Matthew LeBlanc, Joey.
Really?
Just because he was the most handsome one.
He's very cute.
So I guess I kind of liked the ditziest ones, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Because you know why? Because then those friends make me feel smart.
That's why he hangs out with me.
There you go. I didn't have to say it.
Justin Bieber
what about him?
Pranked this morning. He is so happy. He becomes the youngest solo artist to have 7 #1 albums in the history of Billboard 200.
Whoa.
It's called Changes. So if you like Bieber, check it out.
Albums or his actual albums?
The whole album.
That's really
for the
great.
7th time. So he beat out. I want to thank you very much.
Elvis.
Oh,
Justin took down Elvis.
He took him down, man.
Wait till Elvis finds out. Somebody get down to El Paso to that Walmart and let Elvis know. Maybe he'll stop handing out those carts and go back to recording again.
I wonder. Could you imagine?
Justin Bieber. How old is our little Canadian friend?
25.
Imagine being that young.
And he's been
that success.
And you know what? It's been 4 years since he had an album.
I wonder if he ever wears Supreme streetwear. I've never even heard of it before. Has anyone heard of Supreme streetwear? Apparently it's a brand of clothing. Supreme streetwear. Never knew. Supreme. Supreme has now joined up with Nabisco for a special promotion. They've made a very special kind of Oreo cookie.
What? Clothes and food.
I know. This isn't the first time that Oreos have come up with a special Oreo branded to combine brands. Anyway, it's an Oreo cookie. It's kind of a reddish color. They are $8 for 3.
What?
3 cookies in a package and it costs you $8. Wow. Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. It's a limited edition cookie, right? So I think they're probably already sold out.
Probably.
Because one of them is on sale for eBay for $20,000.
What? One cookie?
Well, no, the package of 3. $20,000. You could feed more than 3 children with 3 cookies for $20,000. Did I just tell you that? Regular Oreos, you get 36 for $4. 3 for $8. What's this world coming to?
How do you eat Oreos? Do you pull them apart?
Yes.
Do you? Do you eat the icing, or do you eat the plain?
Here's what I do. I pull them apart. Then I put the one crunchy cookie in my mouth first with some milk. And I hold it in my mouth with the milk until it gets a little soft. Then the other cookie, I lick the cream off of.
So that takes days.
A minute and a half, 2 seconds. And then I put the other cookie in my mouth and repeat with the milk, and it also washes down the cream.
I do that very similarly, but I don't lick the icing. I just take it all off.
I must admit, there are times when it's really like ready to just come right off. I'll just take my top teeth and I'll go like that and peel it off in one.
It's like getting a host at church, kind of. Or not.
Body of Nabisco.
Please stay with us here, Mornings with Luann and Tim. We're coming up after the break with some news for you.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
On Saturday, the coldest night of the year walk raised money for St. Vincent Place. Hundreds of Saultites took part simultaneously with thousands of other people from across Canada. There were 221 walkers on 30 teams here in the Sault. The event raised funds for the hungry, homeless, and hurting. The 2020 fundraising target was $65,000. The children, youth, and adults taking part raised $72,859 by the start of the walk. Event director Sarah McCleary said that the amount will go higher as the final donations arrive. Last year, they raised approximately $89,000, and Sarah felt confident they would reach that number again. Across Canada, $6 million had been raised.
So it's another great year, coldest night of the year. Sault Ste. Marie has shown up and supported us so well, and I've been event directing this walk for the last 8 years, and every year people come out in all forms and do are so generous. And St. Vincent Place is here on the ground every day, making a difference in the homeless and hurting in our community with their food bank and their soup kitchen, and I volunteer on one of the soup kitchen teams, so I see the needs in our community.
So far we're sitting at almost $72,000. That doesn't include all of the checks and cash that came in today, so that number will probably jump up to probably close to $80,000.
Lights, camera, action. Saturday night, Shadows of the Mind Film Festival kicked off. Film enthusiasts gathered at the Grand Theatre for the opening film. ONNtv was there to check out the action.
So the film festival Shadows of the Mind has been taking place for 21 years. This is the 21st season, and it's a mental health driven film festival in Sault Ste. Marie, and we're excited to be back for another season, and tonight is our gala film, which is Arab Blues, taking place at the Grand Theatre. It's a little bit of a comedy. It has to do with a woman that lives in Paris that's from Tunisia that moves back home to start a psychotherapy practice, and we like to go with a little bit of a lighter mood for a gala film because it's a little bit more of an event. After the film's done here at the Grand Theatre, we're heading across the street to the Sault Ste. Marie Museum, and we're having a little gala reception there. It'll be catered by J. Caroline's East Street Pizza, with desserts from Vibe Eatery and the Queen's Tarts. So we have 29 films over the entire week. They take place at the Grand Theatre and also at the Galaxy Cinema. We have our mental health initiative films Show in the Day, our clinical documentaries. We have a film on fetal alcohol syndrome. We have a film on HIV survivors. We have first responder films. And then when we move over to the Galaxy, we kind of loosen up a little bit. We have some Oscar contender films, films from all around the world. We have 2 films that have local connections. We're showing The Bet Friday at 5 p.m. here at the Grand Theatre. That film was shot in Sault Ste. Marie 2 summers ago. And we're showing a film entitled Brotherhood that was shot in Wawa. And that film's showing Saturday at 4:30 also here at the Grand Theatre. So we find it very important to have films about mental health just to break the stigma and to start the conversation. So many times we'll have panel discussions after those films where our film viewers can ask questions. We'll have doctors, we'll have social workers answer questions from the audience, and it just really brings those issues to the forefront, whether it be about mental health, addictions, or any other social issue.
On Friday evening, Catalyst Fitness held a 5K run to celebrate the life of Rosemary Baldwin. The event raised funds for the Sault Area Hospital Mental Health Unit. Rosemary loved to run and was an active member of the Sault Striders Running Club, where members have fond memories of her. Miranda Stadnitsky-Mayhew, the owner of Catalyst Fitness, feels it's important to keep the memory of Rosemary Baldwin alive and bring attention to reaching out if you are experiencing feelings of depression.
We're here for an event that is a run in honor of Rosemary Baldwin. It's a 3 or 5K run, and all the proceeds that are raised today, it's by donation. All proceeds are going to be donated to the Sault Area Hospital Mental Health Unit. Well, Rosemary was a very active part of the running community in Sault Ste. Marie, and also Catalyst Fitness. She was a member of Catalyst Fitness, and we are tied together as a community through fitness, but also it's really important to address mental health and remember the tie between mental health and fitness and how it can help. But also it's important to just acknowledge that there are people that struggle with mental health, and we want to acknowledge that, and we want to honor the memory of Rosemary Baldwin. Anybody who is struggling with mental health, please reach out to whoever you can. Reach out to friends, family, or reach out to supports that we have in our community. Reach out to go to one of the fitness facilities, talk to somebody there. You might be surprised who could help you. Just don't try not to keep it inside. Just try to find a resource that can help you, because there is help out there.
OPP reportedly gave protesters until midnight yesterday to clear a rail blockade on Tyendinaga Mohawk territory or face an investigation of possible criminal charges. But the deadline came and went, and the blockade near Belleville that has crippled both freight and passenger rail traffic in most of eastern Canada for nearly 3 weeks now remained in place as of this morning. The barricades are a response to a move by the RCMP to clear protesters who'd been blocking access to a Coastal GasLink natural gas pipeline worksite on Wet'suwet'en territory in northern British Columbia. Hereditary chiefs of the Wet'suwet'en Nation opposed the work on their traditional territory, despite support from elected band councils along the pipeline route. On Friday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said the barricades had to come down and injunctions ordering the tracks cleared needed to be enforced. Just want to remind you again that we have a brand new email. We would love to hear from you. It's Lou and Jim Show. Tim Show. Lou and Tim. What's your name?
I've only been with you for 2 years. Lou and Jim.
Lou and
Lou
Tim
and Jim.
Show. My husband's name is Jim.
I don't care about him.
I've called him Tim.
Oh, then we're even. I hope not in those moments.
No,
okay,
no.
Good.
Not an issue. No. Lou and Tim Show at gmail.com. Let us know where you're watching from, how long you've been watching. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show. Let us know if you think that he's just talks too much. Let us know if you think he's funny at all. Just let us know what you would like to see on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Luann and who? Sorry.
Tim.
Oh, hi. Apparently I'm back on the show again. Unfunny as I am.
I missed you so. I want to do the Oprah Winfrey 2020 Vision Your Life in Focus tour.
What do you mean you want to do it?
Because...
You want to go to the audience, you mean?
No, I want
You want to actually go on the tour with Oprah?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Kate Hudson was on and brought her... She talked about her weight loss because, of course, Oprah is affiliated with WW. Kate Hudson talked about how her third child, she had such a tough time getting rid of the weight, and Weight Watchers helped her lose 25 pounds. So they were talking about that. And then afterwards, Kate Hudson has made a vodka called King Street Vodka.
Yes, I know this. We talked about this. I was trying to find it for you to give it for Christmas.
You know
I can't find it.
No?
No, I don't think we have it in the LCBOs here. Do we in Canada?
I don't know. I
couldn't find it.
I would love. So they took a shot after the show together.
Yeah.
And she said Kate Hudson said it's a girl buzz. Because it's very soft, it doesn't like boom, and then they took like a straight shot, and Oprah said, "Oh my gosh, it's so sweet." Well, now I want to try it. I just really want.
So you want to go on the tour just so you can drink vodka with?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this with celebrities coming out with booze? Is it Ryan Reynolds that came up with the gin?
I don't know.
Aviator? I believe that Ryan Reynolds has created a gin called Aviator, and somebody tweeted, "I never liked gin. Damn you, Ryan Reynolds." They love Aviator.
Oh, I don't like gin either.
It's called Aviator.
George Clooney also did tequila.
The Rock. And The Rock did something too?
The Rock did something too.
Okay, boy, oh boy, these people just
tequila too.
Can't make enough money, can they?
Right?
I didn't realize the Romans were such a nasty, nasty bunch of people.
Well, really? Why?
Yeah, in 303 AD, the first official Roman edict for the persecution of Christians by Roman Emperor Diocletian.
I remember him. He wasn't nice.
Not nice at all. And then in 1525, I keep hitting you. The Holy Roman Emperor Charles V troops, they beat the French, they captured King Francois I, and they killed or wounded 15,000 people. Those Romans.
Holy man, they got an issue.
I know. And then, but the Romans weren't Catholics, right? But what if Roman Catholic? How'd that happen? They combined because they didn't like Christians, and then suddenly there's Roman Catholics. How'd that happen? I don't even know. All I know is we were talking about the Catholic Church and about the body of Nabisco.
The body of Nabisco.
Talk about the hosts. Remember the time?
Remember when
you couldn't touch a host?
Because you would go to hell. You would go
priest was the only one who could put the little hostie on your tonguey.
Don't touch it.
No touch. No touch.
No touchy, no touchy.
And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to put it in my own mouth. Well, how come who's allowed to make those changes to the rules?
I bet it was Popey.
Remember the story about if you took we always were told the story about the little girl, who took the host and didn't put it in her mouth, and she put it in her hanky. And when she got home, she opened the hanky up, and there was the blood of Christ on her hanky.
Oh my word! What a horrible story to tell a kid.
I heard that story.
Really? I never heard that story.
Yeah,
ever.
You can't take. If you take the host out of the church, bad things are gonna happen to you.
We were just told we're going to hell.
Yeah.
So kind of blood.
They change the rules all the time. They change the rules about the host. They change the rules about Latin masses. Now it doesn't have to be Latin anymore. But by golly,
Latin.
They won't change the rules about letting the ladies be priests, though.
No, or letting the priests get married.
No, they won't. Although they're talking about allowing that to happen where? In Africa.
Oh, really?
Oh, they're having a really hard time keeping priests in Africa, so they're saying they might just allow it to happen. Well, no, I heard recently that they're not suffering anymore for people entering the priesthood. But
really? Mm-hmm. In Espanola, it's like a tour.
Well, Espanola, Africa.
You feel like you're in Africa sometimes when you're in the NOLA.
So so no, I heard that they're considering, or somebody's asking, a cardinal or somebody saying, can we allow the priests in Africa to get married just so we have more of them?
It's ridiculous.
Well, you know that's just going to start a whole trend.
It is, which is good.
Also, this is interesting. On this date, I didn't know why Andrew Johnson was impeached in 1868 on this date. Even after the Civil War, he opposed African American rights. He vetoed any bill that would give former slaves the rights in America. And he was deemed one of the worst presidents in U.S. history until today.
Until today.
1868, he was impeached.
He should have been impeached.
So should somebody else have.
Yes.
But instead, he's in India getting 100,000 people at a soccer stadium, cricket stadium.
Scaring me. Totally. What's coming up?
Chris Oldcorn. John Oldcorn is a musician in Toronto. Chris Oldcorn is an investigative journalist here in Sault Ste. Marie. Moved here and is now working for Superior Media. He's been writing for SaultOnline, and now he's launching his very own show called The Chris Oldcorn Show. I interview him right after this.
Angelo, it's me, Vito. Imbecile, your brother. Listen, you bring 10 gallons of flat eggshell white paint.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me in the studio right now is Chris Oldcorn, who is the newest member of the Superior Media team. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you, Tim.
You're going to have your very own show very soon here on ONNtv.
Yes, starting in just a few days.
So Thursday, February 27th is your premiere episode.
That is correct. It's 7 p.m.
7 p.m. here on ONNtv, also available, of course, through SaultOnline live stream. What days of the week will your show be on ONNtv?
Well, normally it will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then also repeated Wednesday and Friday mornings at 7 a.m. before the morning show.
Right before the morning show.
Yes, so
Excellent.
on the 7s is when we'll be on.
Very good. 7 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. Wednesday, Friday. Excellent.
Correct.
What kind of stuff are you going to be covering there, Chris? I know that you've already written a number of articles for SaultOnline. Your background is as an investigative journalist.
Yes.
You've gotten quite a lot of traction, actually, in some of your articles. In particular, you wrote a piece on the hospital that got a lot of attention. You obviously don't shy away from controversy. You're very honest when you write. Can we expect the same from the show?
Yes, and actually on the very first show with regards to the hospital, just a few weekends ago, there was a situation that happened at the hospital. The person had called me, put me on speakerphone, and I listened in for 45 minutes on how that person was treated. That will be one of our first stories on the show. Okay. We're starting off with a bang.
Wow.
So, you will very much see me tackle the difficult issues in the city because I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions.
The city and beyond. I know that you,
Yes.
I mean, let's talk a little about your background, Chris.
Sure.
So, born and raised where, bud?
Just outside Barrie, Ontario.
Okay, Southern Ontario fella.
Yes.
But you spent time in the States, yeah?
Yes, I've lived in Miami. Off and on for several years.
Okay.
I've also lived in Toronto, and I also went to journalism school in London, UK. So I have lived in several different countries and seen different things, such as a healthcare system in different countries, and I'm able to kind of look at the healthcare system here and compare it to what else is out there, not only within Ontario and Canada, but also how does it compare to what goes on in the NHS in the UK, what goes on comparing it to, say, what goes on in America.
What is your, you've arrived in Sault Ste. Marie, you'd never been here before till you moved
That
here?
is correct.
And you came with a partner?
Yes, my girlfriend.
Okay, and how are things going settling in here? What do you think?
It's a little different than Miami.
I would say so,
just a smidge, yeah. As you know yourself.
I spent some time down there.
Some time there as well. It's a little weather's slightly different.
Queen Street isn't quite Ocean Drive.
No, it's not Ocean Drive. It's not Collins Avenue. It's not Lincoln Road. Yes, definitely.
No,
Yeah.
but
There's no outdoor malls here, which is kind of weird. I don't get it.
There's no what?
No outdoor malls.
No
I mean,
outdoor
all the
malls,
malls in Miami are outdoor.
Outdoor malls, I know.
I mean, the only indoor one is Ventura. Everybody else is outdoors.
Outdoors. What's going on, Sault Ste.
I know,
Marie? Like ice malls. Can't we do that?
Exactly. Like we can just skate from store to store.
But it's interesting, I think, from the what makes your articles, what I've enjoyed about them is that you are a fresh set of eyes and a fresh set of ears here in Sault Ste. Marie, and that you don't have any connections to anybody, so it's no skin off your nose if people take offense to or disagree with your opinions.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think you welcome that because just from knowing you and talking to you in the room, you like a good debate.
Yes, and I have all the way since when I was back in university, I was on the debate team. So I've spent the last 20 plus years, debating and being very interested in politics and other things. And then also, too, what also happened was a lot of the people that were involved in debating when I was are now high up in politics, both federally and provincially, which gives me like inroads into places where other people might not be able to.
Right. So we can expect a lot of political content then on the show.
Yes, it'll be almost 100% political-based content, but how things happen, like at City Hall, how things happen at Queen's Park, how things happen, in the healthcare system, and so on.
You've already been covering City Hall for ONNtv. How's that been going? What's your take on that?
Let's just say that they do a lot of presentations from different parts of the city government, but they never include any financial information. They get up with these nice little PowerPoints that basically say nothing and don't really give real data on what's going on. Which, for someone like myself, part of my background in education was I did a postgraduate in research analysis, which is basically code for statistics. It's extremely hard to find statistics in this town. They're great at PowerPoint presentations. I mean, like bang on A+ at the PowerPoints, but when it comes to substance, you really have to start digging.
All right. It's going to be very interesting.
Yes, it will be.
Will you be featuring live guests on your show, Chris?
Yes, I will. Both locally, provincially, federally, and from across the planet. I will bring in the experts on whatever topic we're dealing with.
Fantastic. If somebody's watching this interview and they're thinking, "Ooh, this sounds cool, and I might want to get to talk to Chris about something, or I have an issue that I'd like Chris to look into," because would you do that? If somebody gets a hold of you through your email or for a phone call and says, "Listen, this happened to me, and I'd like you to get to the bottom of this," or "Could you look into it," or "Can we talk about this?" You are up for that?
Absolutely. My email is chris@superiormedia.ca. So chris@superiormedia.ca.
Yeah, we'll put that, and we can put that on a Krylon on the bottom.
Yeah, if we can do that, that'd be fantastic.
Sure.
Feel free to reach out to me. I'm also on Facebook. A lot of people Facebook messaging me.
They do?
Quite a few.
You're okay with that, eh?
Well, I mean, just
That's
just this past weekend, 3 people who were inside the hospital Facebook messaged me with issues that they had going on inside the hospital with, let's just say, substandard care. So it was very interesting, and I was able to help in one of those situations actually rectify something that was straight up illegal.
Really?
I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Okay.
And so that's actually on the first show, but other people have reached out. I mean, I have an actual file that has about 80 pages of just messages that people have sent me through Facebook Messenger.
You've only been in town for like a month.
Yeah, I started on January 2nd.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is great. Good for you.
I have a spreadsheet to try and keep track of everything. And that's just the hospital. That's not what's going on at City Hall and other things in this town as well. That people have reached out to me. They've sent me things, sent me situations, and so on.
Do you focus at all on stuff across the border, or is this all going to be basically Canadian, or are you going to do international stuff as well?
Yes. I'm going to particularly be focusing a bit on the Democratic primaries.
Cool.
One of the things about the Democratic primary this month, a writer has come out with a book on Joe Biden, for example, and he's going to be on the show. So we're going to be pulling in people from elsewhere as well to cover things that do affect Canada, because what goes on south of the border affects us greatly.
What goes on in Mexico affects us.
Yeah,
right?
So the whole NAFTA, for example. I mean, all of North America we're too interconnected. I mean, the average automobile goes over the border 67 times before it's made. So there's no way to look at Canada without looking at the U.S.
Right.
And even locally. Algoma steel. Like when Trump put the tariffs on steel and aluminum, that affected us locally,
absolutely.
right? So there is a lot of things that affect not just what goes on in Sault Ste. Marie, but elsewhere that affect us in Sault Ste. Marie.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you also about the Facebook page, the name.
Yes.
What is your name on Facebook if they're looking you up that way?
Christopher Oldcorn.
Christopher Oldcorn, Oldcorn. Yep. And of course, if they wanted to call...
And if you want to know what I look like, it's there. So if you're wondering what my actual picture is on Facebook, that's it.
Right there.
Yeah. So there I am. If you can find that, you can find me. I will respond fairly quickly.
Okay. So do you have a second show lined up already? I know that you debut on Thursday. What can we look forward to the next Tuesday? Because I'm already intrigued about the Thursday show. That sounds like it's going to be a gangbuster. What can we look forward to the next week? Just a little teaser.
Well, that is Super Tuesday, that second show. So that is 12 states picking the Democratic primary, which is basically about a third of all the votes for that Democratic primary.
Right.
So we're going to look at that. We're going to see who's left and how would those candidates affect Canada and us here in the Soo.
It's going to be great, Chris. I'm really excited to have you here. And there are other journalists. I mean, I've always was a real fan of Doug Milroy, who wrote for the Sioux Star. He was an editor, and he also wrote for Sioux Online. Doug was another writer who he always cut to the chase. There was no BS with Doug.
Yeah, and I don't.
I anticipate we're heading in that direction.
I don't deal with fluff.
Don't deal with fluff.
Yeah, don't call hallway medicine treatment chairs and then have one of our employees sleep in it for 19 hours and say no one spends more than 3 hours in the treatment chair. I've got a dozen people who've spent 18 plus hours in those treatment chairs, including an employee at Sioux Online. So don't come to me with fluff and say, oh, hallway medicine, we'll just call it a treatment chair. Call it what it is. You're sticking people in chairs and they're sleeping in them overnight.
For more of this kind of journalism,
tune in Thursday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock, ONNtv.ca, or of course through Sioux Online. We're live streaming right there on the main page, and then rebroadcast Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 a.m. just before Mornings with Luann and Tim. It's great to have you as part of the team,
Tim.
Chris.
Thank you for
looking
your time.
forward to seeing your show, and we're looking forward to seeing you right after this break on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
If you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, there is hope and there is help. You matter. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The calls are free and confidential. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone.
So much today. If you were actually in this studio, you would learn things like that the Earth wasn't a star that burnt out. It was a collection of rocks that got smushed together by the gravitational pull and all that stuff. You'd also learn all about the Roman Empire and how Christianity happened. I learned. You should come here and get a history lesson because I learned a lot.
You did.
You know what else I learned?
What else?
Give me a K.
K.
Give me a C.
C.
What do you got?
Security.
Yes. Thank you for sponsoring the show as always, KC Security, and thanks for keeping us secure
and safe. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, the email address is luandtimshow@gmail.com. Let us know what you think.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks.